from the studio floor, honest, raw, and from my heart. I meant to do this every week, and I had many excuses. I didn't know what to talk about. And so I've decided that I'm just going to do it, and I'm going to let the words find me. Just like I do when I'm painting, I let the marks find me. If I try to find the marks, it's a battle. But if they find me, it's effortless. And going on with my words of freedom, what does freedom mean to me, and how do I not have freedom in my life? And that's something that I'm really starting to unpack. And like, what does freedom mean to me? And freedom means that I get to make the choices that I want to do, not dictated by the expectations of others, and not the expectations of my subconscious that is been running my life, that runs all of our lives constantly. How we've been shaped, how we've been created, how we've been molded for our society. And it's not a fault. It's not a, I'm going to point fingers and I'm going to blame. I mean, it just is, right? We live where we live. We're under the influences that we're under. We want to fit in because fitting in keeps us safe. It's our family. It's all explainable, and it's all good. And instead of fighting that, instead of trying to fix that and try to get rid of it, where we'd have to go and move, to a mountaintop to get away from it, what if we just said, that's the way it is. And today I get to choose. And what would I do differently if I get to choose? And honestly, it just opens up the idea that if we want a life we love, we just need to start stepping towards that. And as I learned when I went to Machu Picchu, I can climb a mountain one step at a time, 25 steps at a time, and rest and regroup and take the next 25 steps. I don't need to sprint to the top. It doesn't matter how I get there. I still have climbed the mountain. And somebody sprinting to the top, it doesn't mean that their successes are any more grand. In some ways, my success is even more large because I had to manage myself. I had to use dedication and perseverance and not bailing. For me, maybe the win is even larger than the person who has the capability of sprinting to the top because it's so easy for them. Now, they might have trained for it or whatever else, but I'm not trying to discredit anybody else. I'm just trying to say that what about if we choose? But choose with honesty. Like, I love my family. I love doing things with my family. They're not restrictions on my freedom. They're choices that I make to create my freedom. I get to curate, I get to create the life that I love. And my family is fundamentally part of that. It is the foundation of who I am. It is my heart. It is my life. And I would do anything for them. But I also have boundaries. And I'm understanding that boundaries are okay. It builds respect on both sides. It builds an understanding of what it is that you want and what their expectations of you are. And maybe their expectations need to change a little bit. So, I don't know, this is a bit of a rambling one, and I'm okay with that. I can see that another thing that is really fundamentally an aha moment is that I have this, this computer programming that it's running behind the scenes that has steered me through my life. These feelings of doubt, these feelings of mistrust, these feelings of I'm not worthy to be seen or do it. And I'm not unique. I'm like everyone else. And understanding that my brain has created those to keep me safe, to keep me from expanding too far, from trying to fly, trying to jump off the top of the mountain to see if I can fly and falling flat on my face and hurting myself. I get that. I get all of that. But I've been trying to fix that. I've been trying to make myself more powerful, trying to, arm wrestle those thoughts that are there, that computer programming that is running underneath. And I really have come to the understanding that I can't beat that. I can't beat that program. I can't arm wrestle it. I can't tell myself enough how much I love me. I can't tell myself how invincible I am. Because in some ways, I'm lying to myself. Because my subconscious doesn't feel that way. And so, what does freedom mean? Freedom means that I'm going to start making some conscious choices that go against what my ego says, what goes against what this underlying program is running, and acknowledging that it's there. And instead of making large leaping choices, which then the brakes are going to be put on so hard, and you need all this energy and all this superpower to be strong enough to go against it, because it's going to pop up in somewhere. Like that whack-a-mole game, right? You pop it down here and it pops up somewhere else. And it seems like forever you're running and popping down another mole, and something else pops up on another spot. And so what about if I just took a step back and just started slow? Retaught my subconscious, retaught this pattern that is underlying underneath to keep me safe. And I taught it with small actions. I reached out here. I did this. I survived. I did this. I survived. I made that mark. I survived. Because really, all it wants to do is to keep you safe. It doesn't want to hurt you. It actually, in a weird way, I'm not sure it loves you, but it's there to protect you. To not touch the snake that's going to bite you. To not touch the hot stove that's going to burn you. To not pick up that boiling oil that's bubbling all over the place and can splatter out and, burn your leg. It's there for that. And it just doesn't know the difference between the physical and the mental, those realities. Those realities blend and meld and become one. And so today, for freedom, what am I going to do? What's one small thing that I can do to teach my subconscious that it's okay? I can do it. I can try. And I'm going to survive. And one of those things that I have found as an artist is really starting to set me free. And I can already see the silly resistance that I have, is to put up 6 pieces of white paper and paint, to try things that I've never tried, to push the boundaries of creativity further than where I am in painting my paintings. These boundaries, these new things may never come into my paintings. And I'm understanding that that's okay. But it's pushing the boundaries, constantly teaching yourself, constantly showing yourself, I can experiment, I can fail, and I will survive. And that, I guess, is where my meandering thoughts are going. What the crux of all of this is. We can experiment. We can push our boundaries. We can fail, and we will survive. And in that time, we will be stronger. We will teach ourselves that experimentation is safe. We will teach ourselves that expanding our boundaries is safe. And we'll learn something new, how to maybe move our brush, how to make a mark. I'm really understanding and humbled by the power of experimentation. Something that I didn't do. I play experimented on my paintings, because then if I made something really cool, I could sell it, or it could be made into a painting. But actually experimenting for the joy of just experimenting is a gift to yourself you will never regret, and an important part of your art practice. Thanks for listening, and I'm super excited. Have the most amazing day.